Hi everyone and welcome back. Today we are diving into the most anticipated romance and fiction releases for August 2025, from haunted mansions and apocalyptic kisses to messy sibling drama and bookstore rivalries. There is a lot of love this month, so grab a drink, get comfy and let's jump right in! At number 1 we have The Fallen and the Kiss of Dusk by Carissa Broadbent. In the latest installment of the Crowns of Nyaxia series, Mish and Acer are back and battling gods, betrayals, and a whole lot of divine drama. She's imprisoned, and he's vengeful. The world is in eternal night, and yes, the fate of the underworld might hinge on their very messy, very epic love story. If you caught up with the series, this one sounds like a huge turning point. And if you haven't started yet, now is the time to binge. At number 2, we have Anywhere With You by Ellie Palmer. Charlie's life is a little on fire. She is divorced, broke, and crashing a wedding to stop her sister from making a huge mistake. So she ends up on a camper van road trip through the Minnesota woods with her childhood best friend, who is hot, non-committal, and definitely the last person she should fall for. It's giving awkward tension, long drives, banter, and a whole lot of unresolved feelings. I love this one for the "should I really risk it again?" storyline, especially when the answer is obviously yes. At number 3 we have Full Bloom by Francesca Serritella. Trigger warnings: childhood drama, PTSD, emotional manipulation. Iris is a lighting designer stuck in a rut. Career flatlined, relationship is over, and her life is kinda grey, until a mysterious neighbor gives her a custom-made perfume that makes her irresistible. With that scent, everything changes. Men are drawn to her, doors open, confidence blooms. But this isn't just some glow-up fantasy. The perfume starts awakening things Iris buried deep, like trauma from a childhood fire, buried memories, and dark truths about her past. It's seductive and unsettling all at once. If you like your fiction with a bit of edge and a hit of danger, this is your jam. Number 4, Zomromcom by Olivia Dade. Trigger warnings: violence, zombie gore, near-death situations. When Eddie rushes to save her neighbor during a zombie breach, she ends up being saved by him. And surprise, he's a super old vampire with a big sword and even bigger grumpy loner energy. Now she is stuck in his bunker while the undead are outside, and together they are unraveling a zombie-related conspiracy. And maybe catching feelings? This is Olivia Dade doing what she does best: big personalities, offbeat humor, and somehow making the end of the world super cute. Meet Me in the Orchard by Carolyn Brown is it book 1 in the Paradise series. Trigger warning: family abandonment and natural disasters. Brody just found out he has 7 half-sisters and a run-down farmhouse. Audrey is his next-door orchard-owning nemesis. A tornado hits, and they are suddenly neighbors, and the arguing starts to sound suspiciously like flirting. There is matchmaking, sibling chaos, and orchard pettiness galore. If you are into enemies to lovers, this one is like a peach cobbler, sweet, warm, and just a little messy. At number 6 we have For the Record by Emma Lord. Trigger warnings: parental issues, past emotional manipulation. Mackenzie and Sam were once the hottest music rivals turned maybe some things until everything blew up. Now, years later, Sam is a dad, and Mackenzie is hiding behind a stage name, and the only way to save their careers is to team up for a joint album. All sparks? Still there. All trauma? You bet. This one is messy, melodic and surprisingly soft in the quiet moments. At number 7 we have Rivals to Lovers by Elise Wayland. Trigger warnings, emotional manipulation. Mo has poured her heart into adapting her favorite feminist classic, but the estate of the original author is gatekept by Wes, a fellow writer who, surprise, has his own adaptation ready to go. The only solution? A weekend showdown at the estate owner's home where they will pitch their books and try not to fall for each other in the process. This one is for the book nerds who love a little bickering, a little betrayal, and a lot of unresolved attraction. At number 8 we have Loved One by Aisha Muharrar. Trigger warnings, death of a loved one, emotional trauma. Julia is grieving the death of her best friend, her former first love, Gabe. He was a cult-followed musician, and now she is retracing his steps across the globe, collecting the pieces he left behind. Along the way, she crosses paths with his ex-girlfriend Elizabeth, who starts occupying more and more space in Julia's head. This one is slower, quieter, and beautiful in a way that sneaks up to you. It is about loss, but also about unexpected connections and redefining love after someone is gone. Outlier by Susie Tate is book 3 in Daydreamer series. Trigger warnings, assault, child neglect, emotional trauma. Vicky is used to being the outsider. Her family does not get her. Her co-workers find her weird, and her crush, Mike, thinks she is irritating. But when a moment of real fear reveals the parts of Vicky no one sees, Mike starts seeing her very differently. And maybe protecting her becomes more important than avoiding her. At number 10 we have The Battle of the Bookshops by Poppy Alexander. Trigger warnings, family illness, financial stress, and grief. Jules returns to her charming seaside hometown to save her great-aunt's dusty old bookshop. But things get messy when her childhood nemesis, Roman, who owns the building, decides to open a shiny modern bookstore right across the street. Childhood insults, stubborn business plans, and a lot of unexpected chemistry follow. If you are a fan of cozy competition, nostalgic bookish vibes, and that classic enemy to lover setup, this one is a treat. At number 11, we have Endless Anger by Sav R. Miller. It's book 1 in the Monster Within series. Trigger warning, violence, family trauma, toxic relationships, and emotional manipulation. Asher is angry at everything. Himself, his family legacy, and most of all at Lucy, the best friend who pretends she does not feel what he feels. When they both end up at Avernia College, things spiral fast. There are secret societies, sacrificial rituals, and very old grudges. Their chemistry is explosive, but their world is deadly. This one is intense, messy, and a little bit magical. If you like dark romantic tension, morally grey characters, and settings that feel like Hogwarts if it were cursed, give this book a try. At number 12 we have The Book of Lost Hours by Hayley Gelfuso. Trigger warnings, family abandonment, state censorship, historical violence. There is a library filled with books that contain the memories of the dead. Lisa Vett was trapped there as a child and has grown up reading other people's lives. Decades later, Amelia is drawn into the mystery surrounding her missing uncle and into the library itself. As timelines twist and secrets unravel, both women must choose what stories are worth saving. If you love anything about time, memory, or magical libraries, this is your book. It has a quiet magic that builds slowly and sticks with you long after the last page. At number 13 we have My Favorite Lost Cause by Elizabeth O'Rourke. It's book 2 in the Favorites series. Trigger warnings, marital breakdown, emotional trauma, supernatural elements. After a devastating marriage collapse, she heads south to help her chaotic stepbrother fix up a crumbling sulfur mansion. But there is a catch. Doors slam on their own, voices whisper, and they seem to be reliving the tragic love story of the house's past. The closer they get, the harder is it to ignore what is growing between them. The problem? He is her stepbrother and very much not interested in kids or commitment. This one has all the haunted house's energy, complicated, slow burn tension, and just enough ghosty weirdness to make you question what is real. At number 14 we have Maverick, Hearts on the Line by Margot Keene. It is book 1 in Maverick series. Trigger warning, death of a sibling, underwater danger, romantic trauma. Maddie moves to Maverick Key after the sudden death of her brother in a cave diving accident. She is hoping for peace, but instead finds cryptic notes, suspicious circumstances, and Scott, the broody widower diver who used to know her brother. As fortune hunters descend on the town to explore the cave that took Nathan's life, Maddie is pulled into danger and romance, unsure of who she can trust. This one has a quiet intensity. There is grief, yes, but also bravery, longing, and the simmering attraction that builds underwater. So, which book are you picking up first? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear what caught your eye. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!